If you think that homemade salad dressing should be any less flavorful than its store-bought counterparts, then you need to try these 3 creamy mayonnaise-based dressings. Not only are they delicious, healthy, and easy to make, they are kid and husband approved. So the first recipe we're starting out with is America's favorite and all of my 7 children's favorite, and that is ranch dressing. So you're going to add some really high quality mayonnaise. I make my own. It's so easy, and even if you haven't tried it before, I really suggest you do. There's some great tutorials and I will link one down below. But if that's not something you're interested in, there's some really good options at the store these days, even at Walmart. So check out those below. I'll link them in the notes as well. And you're going to add 3/4 cup of this mayonnaise. And then next, you're going to either get some sour cream or some yogurt. I have my homemade yogurt here. I really like it for the probiotic boost and just the really good tangy flavor. You can use Greek yogurt for a thicker dressing, or you can use just regular yogurt if you don't mind your dressing a little bit runnier. Either way, you're going to use 3/4 cup of the yogurt or sour cream. And then next, you're going to add either some white wine vinegar or lemon juice. I added a tablespoon. Just use what you have on hand. Fresh lemon juice is my favorite, but I have the white wine vinegar. Then next, you're going to add a teaspoon of onion powder. You can use onion powder or onion granules, a half a teaspoon of garlic powder, and a fresh garlic clove would be great here too. I mean, gosh, anything fresh just brings this salad dressing up to a whole nother level. But my herbs are not in season now, so I'm using what I have. 1 teaspoon parsley, a teaspoon of dill. And again, oh my goodness, this with fresh dill is just incredible. And then next, you are going to add salt and pepper to taste. I love salt, and recipes never have enough salt for me, so I just keep salting away and tasting. Then you're going to mix all that together well. See all those lovely herbs just mixing together, and you're going to get a really nice creamy consistency. I don't add any milk or buttermilk to mine, though of course you always could if you like a runnier dressing. We like to use our dressing as just like a regular dip for carrots. In fact, this is the second time I've made this dressing. The first time I made it for the video, my kids ran in, found a bag of carrots, and just completely demolished it. So I made sure to make enough. And then you can put it in a jar for storage. But something I should mention is that you can also just make the dressing in the bottom of a salad bowl and then put the salad on top, wait until dinner time to mix it in, just like they do at restaurants. I actually spent a year in France, and that was something I noticed is that they never had store-bought dressings at the table. You always made it from scratch, left it at the bottom of the bowl, and somebody tossed it right before dinner. Now, this recipe makes about 1.5 cups of dressing. Now, our family's next favorite is the creamy Italian dressing, and I base my recipe off of Sally Fallon-Morell's basic dressing in Nourishing Traditions. And you're going to start out with a 1/2 cup of the best olive oil you can get. I don't know if you know, but there is a big crisis with olive oil right now. Worldwide, there is an olive oil shortage. So there's a lot of people who are diluting the oils with stuff that you do not necessarily want to be eating, like canola oil. So the best way to avoid this is to get olive oil sourced from one place. This is olive oil from Walmart that is all sourced from Sicily. Now I'm adding my 1/4 cup mayonnaise for that extra creaminess, and 2 tablespoons and 1 teaspoon of red wine vinegar. And I guess you could do balsamic for a sweeter dressing, but I'm going to add honey to this as well, so I'm not. Next, you're going to put in a teaspoon of Dijon style mustard. And now I'm going to put in the spices. So you've got a teaspoon of dried oregano, a teaspoon of dried basil, and then lastly, a teaspoon of dried parsley. And then next, I added in a teaspoon each of garlic and onion powder. Again, fresh garlic is always best, but I ran out. This recipe is so easy to remember, a teaspoon each of everything. Next, you're going to salt and pepper it to taste. And oh my goodness, how did I forget? You need to put in 2 teaspoons of raw honey as well. If you don't, it's going to be really tangy. And then you're going to mix all of that together. Next, we have my honey mustard dressing. I actually found this recipe online, so I'll link to that in the notes. And with this, you're going to start out with a cup of mayonnaise, and then you're going to add a tablespoon of Dijon mustard. And then next, if you have it, you're going to add 2 tablespoons of a grainy mustard. If you don't have the grainy mustard, just use regular yellow mustard. It tastes really good as well. I just happen to have some delicious grainy mustard left over from Christmas, so I'm going to use that. And this dressing is not only great for salad, it's also a really good dipping sauce. My daughter thinks it tastes like Chick-fil-A sauce, so we're going to have it with chicken nuggets one of these days soon. And I'm not really big into sweet dressings usually, but this has the apple cider vinegar in it. I'm adding 2 tablespoons here, and that adds this really nice tanginess that just balances everything out. And the apple cider is just really good for digestion and adds this probiotic boost to the dressing, which I absolutely love. So lastly, add a 1/3 cup of honey. I'm using my raw honey here, just some more enzymes, some more healthy food to make this wonderful salad dressing. I suppose you could do sugar if you did not have honey on hand, but the honey just really adds a nice thick consistency as well. And then you're going to salt it to taste, of course. I find that these sweet recipes need a little more salt to balance out the sweetness. But yeah, do what you like. I never like to put salt amounts down because I find everyone has such varying tastes. So now you've got this great sweet dressing minus the high fructose corn syrup and MSG. And if you like saving money on healthy food and cooking from scratch, I highly recommend that you check out my video on how I feed my large family. This gives these really good tips and hacks on keeping healthy food around without breaking the budget.